Welcome to The Author Show, where we feature new authors and books, from fiction to self-help and everything in between. You'll find it all at theauthorshow.com. That's theauthorshow.com. And now let the show begin.
Hi, this is The Author Show, and I'm your host, Linda Thompson. Our featured book's title, Breaking Free from the Ego, A Course in Finding and Freeing Yourself, almost describes itself. Written by spiritual teacher Trina Carroll-Houk. Her book helps us feel free from negative thoughts and false beliefs. Trina joins us to share more. Trina, will you please give us a quick overview of Breaking Free from the Ego?
Yes, Breaking Free from the Ego, A Course in Finding and Freeing Yourself is a book about how to quiet your mind, how to overcome the voice of fear and doubt in order to live in a place of inner peace. In other words, to get to a place where you don't live in stress and in anxiety, which most people do. So that the mind is where we suffer when we live there and become it.
What inspired you to write your book?
I wanted to leverage myself to be able to reach many more people than I'm able to do in my private practice. I do individual and group sessions, and it's just not enough. And so I just wanted to reach a lot of people in a way where that they could have the hope and the way to heal. And this book offers 60 exercises as well as opportunities, for growth and the content in it. So this is hopefully a way for people to easily heal the wounds that they have that are causing all of their anxiety and the pain and suffering.
As you mentioned, you do speak with people on an individual basis, and you are founder of Breaking Free Boundaries. What do you do with people? Do you talk with them over the phone? Is it long distance? Do you meet with them in person? And if so, I can certainly understand why you need a broader reach. So tell us a little bit about your company.
I do all of that. I offer, sessions in person, also over the phone, Zoom, Skype, FaceTime, all different avenues in order for people to get the help that they need.
Trina, will you explain what it is that a spiritual teacher does?
Well, I'm a spiritual teacher and counselor. What I do is meet with people who are trying to overcome their pain and suffering. They, a lot of times, have anxiety and stress in their lives, things that they want to overcome, and they want to live in inner peace. And that's what we all want. We want to live in inner peace. And so I meet with clients however is best for them, and I help them to understand what's going on, what the problem is, and what the solution is. And it's very simple, but it helps for them to tell someone exactly what the symptoms are in their lives so that they can overcome and heal those wounds.
Very interesting. On your website, you talk about living a life free of negative thoughts and limitations. How do you work with others to accomplish this?
The way you do it is to overcome the ego, but you've got to recognize the ego, know how to overcome it. People who are already practicing meditation, practicing yoga, in recovery programs, doing self-help, anyone in those areas already are working to overcome what's holding them back, which is the ego. It's the ego mind. It's the thoughts that we have that we actually believe. And 98% of our thoughts are random, repetitive, unproductive. They are not helpful, and they're the same yesterday that they're going to be tomorrow. And so we go round and round, and the ego just basically takes us over. The ego runs and ruins our life, and it's 24/7.
Yeah, I do concur with that. So, Trina, this may sound like a really dumb question, but just what does the phrase, quote, breaking free, unquote, mean?
It means breaking free from the mind, from the thoughts, from that voice of fear and doubt, knowing that is not you. That voice is not you. Most people do not know who they really are. They don't know their true identity. It isn't those thoughts. Those thoughts are quite random and repetitive. That's where our pain and suffering is. And so going into the mind and living there instead, in a psychological place, rather than stepping out of it and living in the present moment, in the experience of here and now, that's what holds us back. It's the busy mind that we don't know how to harness.
I think everybody on the planet needs your help. Did you write Breaking Free from the Ego for a specific type of reader?
Yes. A reader who is interested in, number one, inner peace. A reader who is already either working in an area of meditation, yoga, as I mentioned, in recovery groups from behavioral chemical addictions, which is, hundreds of different behaviors that hold us back, that we have consequences that are difficult to stop. Those people, the people that do want to live in joy, they do want to live in happiness. That's our natural state. But when we live in the mind, we can't overcome this cloud that comes over us that we actually believe is us. And so we have to learn to live a different way and actually change our mind. And we can do that with these practices. And I offer key practices in the book. I offer for the 60 growth exercises. There's 14 chapters of good content that helps give a person a good review of what it takes to break free from this pain and suffering and the things that hold us back.
What sets Breaking Free from the Ego apart from others in the self-help genre?
What sets it apart is it's actually a course. It's a course in finding and freeing yourself. It's a course that offers how to apply what it takes in order to break free. And I can say that it's somewhat repetitive simply because that's needed to overcome and to counteract the ego. And so when clients come to me, I repeat a lot of the things that I say and apply them to their lives so that they're able to apply them themselves. And so as a teacher and an instructor, I've spent most of my career teaching and instructing and then went into private practice. I've learned to help clients to apply by hearing it, seeing it, saying it, and doing it. And so they've got to apply it to their lives. And this book gives anyone who reads it that opportunity to apply it so it changes their life.
Trina, when you began your company, did it ever occur to you that you would publish a book?
No, I had no idea. And this was given to me as a gift. I was called to write this book, and I am so grateful and thankful I had the opportunity to do it and to share it with the world. And I have to say that it's worth it to just help one person. And I've already had plenty of my readers tell me that it gives them inner peace by just reading it. That's all I needed to hear, because that's what I hope for others. That's my greatest desire, is that everyone lives in inner peace, because again, that's our natural state.
Well, that message is just solid gold. So do you know of any other book that might be compared with Breaking Free from the Ego?
Absolutely. A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. He talks a lot in there about the ego and the present moment and living here and now. Also, The Power of Now that he's written. There's others out there. Those two are probably the best match to it. The only difference is that I have the growth exercises in my book to apply it a little more.
Do you have any plans to write another book?
I plan to write a guide to go with this book, so it will help the student who really wants to spend more time learning and applying the objectives and the content, as well as any teacher out there who would like to teach it.
What would you say is the main message in Breaking Free from the Ego that you want readers to remember?
The main message, I would say, is that you can break free from the ego. You can quiet your mind. You can live in inner peace. That's really what it's about, is quieting the mind, having that off button to stop the thoughts that sometimes torment us. When we get to a place where we're tormented by it, the voice of fear and doubt, we need to be able to turn it off. And it is possible. And this is a way to learn how to heal so that you don't get overtaken by the ego. It helps us to neutralize the ego, to interrupt the ego, to have that ego sobriety where that we are no longer the ego. We don't get overcome by it.
Very interesting. Pretty deep, but pretty interesting. So, Trina, will you please read a short excerpt from Breaking Free from the Ego for our listeners?
Yes, I sure will. Did you know inner peace comes from making changes inside, not from the outside? Yet we seek solutions outside ourselves by complaining or blaming someone, staying busy, getting revenge, finding a new love, making more money, shopping, drinking, kicking a habit, getting physically fit, being healthier, happier, and more. We seek these things on the outside because we think, well, they'll make us feel better about ourselves on the inside. Living from the outside in is dysfunctional and the results don't last. Yet, we can't control the outside, and it's not the world's responsibility to make sure we're okay on the inside. That's our job. This behavior only fuels the ego for a short-term high. Do any of these outside solutions resonate with you? If so, how is it going so far? Even when we achieve our goals, we still don't experience lasting happiness or inner peace. There's always another goal and another one after that. It never seems to be good enough right here where we are today. We're always chasing the next best thing, and we're certainly never satisfied. Yet all we want is inner peace. So instead, we must give up commenting mentally on life situations. We must have the courage to say no. Consider for a moment what you want more in life than being safe. What's worth the risk? Maybe happiness, freedom, love, or inner peace? Whatever it is, it will be enough to say no to the ego. Fighting for something that important is powerful. It brings out the brave in us. Know that even when we think we failed, we often forget that it's those challenges and opportunities that grow our success. Therefore, rather than going along with the ego, use your inner boundaries and authority to tell the ego the threats won't work anymore, because what you want goes far beyond the ego's limited world.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think everybody needs to read your book. So now I want to know, where can we learn more about you, and where can we purchase Breaking Free from the Ego, a course in finding and freeing yourself?
My book is available on all major retail sites. However, I have links on my website, which is breakingfreeboundaries.com. It's breakingfreeboundaries.com. And in fact, there's a sneak peek there of a PDF file that you can download that has approximately the first 10 pages to the book, which would be very helpful for you to make a decision whether the book is for you or not. And you can also find out more about the book, as well as more about me and my private practice and the individual as well as group sessions that I offer.
We've been talking with Trina Carroll-Houk, author of Breaking Free from the Ego, a course in finding and freeing yourself. Trina, thank you so much for taking time to share your message with our listeners today. I know that a lot of people are going to really be interested in learning more about your work. And if and when you publish your next book, will you please come back and chat with us again?
Absolutely. I'm looking so forward to it. And Linda, I just want to thank you so much. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. The service that you offer to so many people as well as to authors is so valuable.
Thank you for that. Breaking Free from the Ego, a course in finding and freeing yourself, reveals the secret to happiness and fulfillment, which can only be learned through personal experience. Fortunately, Trina Carroll-Houk has had that experience. She can teach you how to break free from what's holding you back from living a life of inner peace. To live a rewarding life, we need to break free from our ego, and that doesn't happen by accident. It happens with intention. If you believe that Trina's book will help you or someone you know, please go to breakingfreeboundaries.com and order your copy today. And when you finish, don't forget to post a review. And please share this interview with your friends so that they too may become acquainted with our author. And remember, the Author Show may be accessed at any time at theauthorshow.com. Plus, selected interviews can also be found on major platforms such as Amazon Fire TV, the Roku channel, Google Podcasts, Pandora, Amazon Music, and many more. Whether you're an author who would like to be featured or a reader in search of new books, theauthorshow.com is a really great place to start.
Thanks for listening to The Author Show. Find out more about authors and their work at theauthorshow.com. Theauthorshow.com. Tune in next time to another great author on The Author Show.